good? This is Black Thought, where I'm not spitting rhymes, but hopefully I'm gonna help you not waste your time. You feel me? Today I'm gonna be talking slash rambling about ingot management, minimal rosters, etc., and hopefully slap some people out of a mindset before they fall into the same trap I did playing the Japanese version of the city opera Omnia. In the background, I'm gonna start doing the normal mode of Agrius Lost Chapter because I ain't do it yet. It's just background noise. Feel free to tune away from the video and just listen to what I say. So let me start off by giving some background to the issues I had when Chaos first rolled around in the Japanese version. I, too, was deceptively baited by, this character looks good enough at X limit break, so I'm going to just spread my resources around to make everyone viable. In theory, it sounds good. You know, who needs extra EX damage on Tidus and Agrius? Who needs extra damage on Warrior Elite? Who needs HP plus on Ferris? HP plus plus on Ferris if you can give her an overflow from other party members, right? Wrong. Doesn't work like that. You see, what happens is, when these fights get tough, you end up needing to pull the most out of your units. And something that I've been saying and cannot stress enough is, you are better off, generally, with the base book, like 0 out of 3 support, and a 3 out of 3 DPS, than a 1 out of 3 support and a 2 out of 3 DPS, etc. You want these units at their max, or you want them doing what they can, what they're meant to do, with as little investment as possible. So let's take Warrior Elite, for example. His main function is to battery and shield, and he does this effectively at 0 out of 3. Now, as you start bringing him into more battles, now that the first month of Chaos is over, probably the crazy period, his damage ain't gonna be all that. He's gonna still be leaking like crazy because of his max brave, and his hits aren't gonna be doing that well. So it's time for people might start thinking about throwing some ingots into him. Maybe, maybe not. I already maxed mine, as y'all have seen in my videos, but that's just because I like seeing that damage output. But others may not. And at that moment, you might just have to bench him because his output wouldn't be enough. But he has served his purpose at 0 to 3, and in the tower, he can do it as well. Or you can look at Deuce. Deuce's primary function is to buff the party. Most of her limit breaks depend on her EX damage, and Deuce isn't necessarily there to do damage, so she can function, especially in the tower, 0 out of 3. On the Japanese version on my side, the characters I made this mistake for were, and ironically, the people, well, not even ironically, it's why I stress the most that you gotta max these people. I left Fang at 1 out of 3 because I thought she just needed the X boost. I mean, not the X boost, the stat boost. I thought, okay, I can hit hard with other people. To this day, my Fang is still 1 out of 3, just collecting dust. That was a huge mistake. I had Tidus at 2 out of 3 also. That was a mistake. I brought him to 3 out of 3 eventually, but it's deceptive. I thought Agrius could be a 2 out of 3. And then I saw, I was stuck on 2-6 for a while, and then I finally gave her that last piece, and suddenly her damage skyrocketed, and I said, oh, I get it now. Because really, it makes that big of a difference. Descriptions do not do characters justice. You got to see them in practice. And you got to, really, this era is about decision-making, not necessarily planning, but evaluating your roster, seeing, do I need this? Do I like this? And pumping resources into it to make it happen. My game didn't crash, did it? Oh, okay, good. Let's see. So Tidus, Fang, Agrius, Deuce I gave 2 ingots to after I was happy she helped me do FEOD 2, which was a mistake because I actually didn't see that much output in her, and I should have read her kit before I got excited about what she was doing. But she was sitting at 2 or 3 for a while. My Sarah is still sitting at 2 out of 3, just because for no good real reason, really. I mean, I should have maxed her. I will max her eventually, but not now. Maybe when she gets character boards. But that's besides the point. Just by leaving these characters there, I essentially wasted resources because I wasn't able to use them except in some limited tower content in like 1 or 2 stages. And really, I just couldn't get my return on investment in them. So that's why I stress 3 out of 3 or bust. The only exceptions to that rule generally are some supports, like Warrior Light, Rem, Lilithset, Hope, Penelo, Yuri, Paladin Cecil. I mean, other than that, Paladin Cecil, mine is at 0 to 3. I'm gonna be uploading a video later. Him at FEOD 3. I mean, not 3, and 9. I mean, Gloof, I don't know how you say his name. He can function at 0 to 3 in some stages, but once you start going, you should finish them off. I think 2 out of 3 is probably the most irritating place to leave a unit at, just because they're right there. You might as well just, because what are you gonna do with that 1 ingot? Give it to Vanille or Lily? Like those are the only 1 units I could say you should keep. But besides that, like you might as well just go all the way, bro. You're spreading your resources out. That's how people get stuck in the tower. Like, all right, Pathos. That was a good intro to how the tower is, but you can get by with a lot of non-EX plus units, but that time is starting to be over, y'all. Like, you got to invest or wait it out. And having the eternal noob status plate isn't very fun because you see all these people on your friend, because you don't see it now, but you're going to start seeing your friends list. There's going to be these bronze plates, these silver plates, these gold plates. You're going to be like, dang, I want to be part of the fun. And you can't because you got like 5 different 1 out of 3 units because you were trying to be minimal and save for Emperor and whoever in the future. And you plan so hard for the future, you can't address the present. And then what ends up happening is that people get in a crazy backlog where they're just not getting enough ingots or resources per month. So let's math it out a little. So Choco, Bingo, Board, whatever you call it, you get 2 of those a month, excluding special event ones. So that's 2 books a month right there. You get 10 pages per event, and there's like 5 events per month or maintenance cycle, I want to say. So that's about what, 4.5 books so far. So that's 4 ingots right there. You get 2 from the FEOD stage. Is that right? Yeah. And you get about 1 from the materials you collect over time from just doing content. So the 5 nuggets per stage. So that's like it'll vary, but like you'll get enough materials to roughly, I think my math is probably off somewhere too, but 2 or 3 is generally, from just backlog books, you'll generally max 2 or 3 units a month. And where you'll really mess yourself up is you might go part of the way on some unit without making sure if you could use them in the tower or not, and then you end up regretting it. Tower is the end game. People should be focusing on that and not events. But unfortunately, a trend I've been observing is people only tend to look at the videos of events to see who the meta character is, without ignoring the units people built over time to help them get through the tower. And the general vibe I've been getting is that people are like, all right, I got oh God, I don't know how to say her name. Longevity, by the way. People got Ultimecia, now they want Emperor. And I'm sitting here like, that's a whole 5 tower stages that people aren't going to do if their entire roster, from what it looks on the outside, because I know people are grabbing others, by the way, because I know a couple people grab Cryo, and other people grab Lilithset. But let's say you got Cloud, Charlotta, Warrior Light, Ultimecia, Lilithset, 1 out of 3, and Ramza, That's like an Agrius. So that's like 7 people you got for the tower so far. Um, Maybe Sarah, because I know people flipping out about Sarah. That's you're just gonna be stuck in the tower B. I don't I don't know how to say it, and I'm concerned that this is gonna happen. There's gonna be a lot of frustration over stuff getting gated by. I mean, thanks to community efforts, they showed a lot of promise in the tower and the Pathos version as well. But that next version, I mean, and I'm gonna say this as often as I can before I can't go red in the face because of my skin color. But I'm gonna go. In theory, I'm gonna go red in the face. If you don't have a proper dispeller, or you don't have the crazy enough DPS to get through the 5th stage of the tower, you're just gonna be stuck, and your Emperor is not gonna be able to really put in much work in the tower because you can't get to the next stage 6, where he's real useful, where it's built for him. You feel me? As only time will tell. I mean, people are building Ishtola too, but you need 15 units, y'all. And you can wait it out, but what's the fun in that, you know? I think the most fun, and the tower is such a great addition to the game, is doing it on release, strategizing, moving units around, seeing what works, somehow revisiting old units, working out teams you didn't think were possible, stuff like that. That's cool stuff, you know? And you get 2 ingots, which that plus a book means you got a new 3 out of 3 character. 10 ingots for doing the whole dimensions and chaos from the jump. That's pretty sick, you know? And if you got enough like Ramza, Noel, Lena, Selfie, people like that who are just chilling when they required a minimal investment. Like those, if you're trying to min-max, those are the characters to focus on. But even then, you're gonna have to choose some other ones to get you through. You need supports are good. I know people get the message. We like supports, but you need DPS alongside those supports. So you're not hitting anything, and you can't just cloud an Ultimacia, man. I mean, on the Japanese version, you know, people weren't worried about. At least from what I observe, let me preface it with that because I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, you know, people read." I know I'm the people who aren't like foresight and planning crazy. I see them going through the same thing. So like, let me give Titus 2 out of 3. Let me give Agrius 2 out of 3, and then things aren't looking too swell like a couple events later, and you don't have the materials because you spread yourself thin. Like I said before, and it's not fun to see, and I don't want people repeating my mistakes. Just don't want to see it. It hurts. It hurts. I'm going to be doing probably a video on my thoughts on how to prepare for the tower, possibly. But I'm going to say it again, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep saying it, I'm going to say it again till y'all hate me. Get a wide roster, y'all. Ulti can't be your only DPS. Warrior Light can't be your only support. Agrius can't be your only offensive support. Like, it's... I don't even know where to go with this. I've said it so many times. Just brace yourself, y'all. I mean, chaos overhyped. Why did people struggle with this? But I used 9 months of foresight. It's not as simple as people think. I know the meme is okay. I'm a horde for burst weapons and not pull it all because I got weapons I can wake up, realize, whatever. From previous months, but the wake-up call will be when you burned all your good units in a previous stage, and now you got nobody, and now you gotta wait. So what am I trying to say here? Don't be skipping people just because you didn't see them in a lot of YouTube videos. Like people are I see people starting to get hip to Ferris, how she's useful, why you want ingots for her 3 out of 3. But for every person that's starting to get hip, there's another person that ain't getting hip yet. And I think the top 4 dimensions end at like 11 or 12%, which is a good percent. Don't get me wrong, but I think the community can do better. I just don't want people to get blindsided. But what can I do? I'm just some goofball who happened to pick up the Japanese version right as chaos started. You feel me? So in closing, Don't spread your ingots out, people. You go in on one character and you bench the other. Oh, that's right. I want to talk about the backlog a bit before I close out. I don't have as many problems with the backlog as some others might, simply because I noticed that if I didn't max a character, I probably wasn't gonna use them that much anyway. I mean, having new toys is nice to play with, but definitely having another material on top of that can make you realize that you might not have gotten too much use out of them anyways. That, and I mean, down the line when they're featured again or something, I mean, way into the future, you might use them then. But the worst decision you can probably make is maxing someone out of rage because you can't do something. And if you're rage maxing someone, either you've been holding on to too many materials for too long, because ideally you should be building a couple units a month, or you are not patient enough to try and work out a stage. So just whenever you get mad, per usual, I mean, this is adult advice. Y'all should know this. Hopefully y'all are grown. Take a deep breath. Think about it. Maybe do some research. Ask some people on Discord. Look up some YouTube videos. Just be easy. You can figure it out. But don't just start trying to be minimal. The era for that is over. Y'all are going to have to invest. Can't say it enough, but if this new tower comes straight after chapter 2.6, like people are expecting it to, it's gonna be a doozy. I congratulate everyone who can do it on release. I got my teams mapped out, and I'm gonna be talking about that separately, but I welcome you to join me in doing it. Just keep this rule in mind. 3 out of 3 are bust, usually. Don't spread your materials. Please, 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 please. So you're going to be stuck, feeling bad, waiting on the next month, and then the tower keeps getting bigger and bigger, and you don't know whether to pull or hoard because you want to get the next big thing. But then you realize once you get said next big thing, you can't max them out because you don't got the materials because you can't do the tower. It's a vicious cycle. And then they might pull up the fact that, JP eventually at floor 13, which is way, way, way far away in global, there was a huge campaign right before Burst happened. Hurry up and finish your tower, fam. We're going to give you 30,000 gems and like 4 or 5 ingots and pages and books and tickets and stuff. It was thick. Extra thick rewards, boy. And the people who've been hacking away at the tower month by month, keeping up, not trying to invest in the minimal amount of units as possible and get their max returns, which, I'm speaking personally. I'm hoarding a bit in JP right now, and I am bored. I don't know how y'all do it. I mean, some people find that fun, but to each their own. But I could not imagine staying up to date on stuff because it's fun. Because once stuff gets crept, you don't have a challenge anymore. But again, to each their own. I like playing with FaZe, but I like screwing around with new stuff. All right, I rambled a bit too much. I don't even know where I'm trying to go with this video anymore. So I'm going to cut it off. Lost chapter almost done. I'm going to record that maybe tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can get... No, I'm not getting you to do that. Let me be real. I'm going to try and do something creative, but it's probably not going to get creative. If it's not creative enough, per usual, I'm just not going to upload because I don't find it interesting. Putting up stuff that other people are doing. If it's just something basic, I don't like doing it. Not to insult people who are using strategy, because best believe when this came out in the Japanese version, I ran it with Ferris, Agrius, Ultimecia. What you mean, boy? This stage sucks. So don't feel ashamed. But same time, y'all, just get ready for the tower. I don't want nobody broke out here. Everyone wants Emperor. Everyone wants Tifa. Everyone wants this Tola. But are y'all going to have the resources to build them? Shout out to Tomberry Troop. Shout out to Ink. use this resource planner. It took me about 20 minutes to figure out what I was doing wrong because I can't read. But that high key helped me. I can get all I want if I plan accordingly. Or I'm gonna try and mix it up this time. You know, I'm not pulling on everyone I did in Japanese version. It is what it is, though. All right, I'm gonna close this one out. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. I have descended to the point where I am telling people to like and subscribe because your boy's trying to get his channel out here. Give me all them views. Know what I mean? But that's it, y'all. Longevity is a word, not longevity. Longevity and a word. That's your knowledge for the day, for the rest of your life. All right, peace.